The American Spotlight studio glimmers under the lights, as if prepped for a national performance. But today isn't about entertainment. It's about confrontation. The air is thick, primed to explode. Every eye is locked on two figures who've been setting social media ablaze for a week. Karoline Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary in history, steps out like a media warrior. With a steely smile and razor-sharp eyes, she looks ready to expose something earth-shattering. Facing her, Trevor Noah, the famed comedian and master of viral satire, sits with arms crossed. His signature grin is there, but behind it, a glint of caution, as if he knows a storm is coming. The audience is taut as a wire. Cameras zoom in tight, and veteran host Jack Harper, with a voice deep as war drums, kicks things off. Welcome to American Spotlight. Tonight, we're not just witnessing a conversation, it's a clash between comedy and truth. Karoline Leavitt, you claim to bring a secret that could leave Trevor Noah speechless. Is this the comeback to that clip that's got all of X in a frenzy? Karoline leans toward the mic, voice calm. Trevor Noah isn't a comedian, he's a manipulator, hiding behind laughs to sow bias and attack those who don't share his ideology. And if he thinks I came here empty-handed, he doesn't know New Hampshire women. The crowd erupts. Trevor laughs. Karoline, is this a Hollywood script or a Mar-a-Lago one? Laughter and whistles roar, but Harper cuts in. Karoline, be specific. What's this secret you're talking about? Leavitt smiles dangerously. Just wait. Trevor's going to run from his own laughter. Before diving into the story, comment where you're watching from and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the latest stories. The studio shakes with applause mixed with boos, as if the audience is watching a boxing match, not a talk show. Karoline Leavitt sits upright, eyes locked on Trevor Noah like a hunter stalking prey. Noah, arms crossed, half smile intact, but his fingers tap lightly on the table, betraying his calculation of every move. Host Jack Harper, with a knack for stirring drama while staying neutral, leans toward Leavitt. Karoline, you just called Trevor Noah a manipulator's hiding behind laughs. What do you have to back that up? The audience holds its breath, waiting for her answer. Leavitt, voice calm but sharp as a blade. Jack, I'm not here to beat around the bush or play a part in some cheap drama. She pauses for a moment, her gaze sweeping the audience before locking back on Trevor Noah. Without blinking, she continues. Noah has turned The Daily Show into a propaganda weapon, smearing President Trump with carefully crafted jokes. He calls it comedy, but I call it a smear campaign. She leans slightly forward, voice lower but no less forceful. And I have information, no facts, that will show the audience who he really is. She stops, eyes flicking over Noah, as if daring him to respond. Noah laughs loudly, leaning into the mic. Karoline, you really think my jokes are powerful enough to shake Trump? I just say what everyone sees. A president tweeting at midnight, and calling it policy. He pauses, then continues with a sharper smirk. If you want to call that propaganda, I suggest you check your own mirror, or better yet, the one at Mar-a-Lago. The audience explodes, one side cheering, the other whistling in protest. Leavitt doesn't flinch, her lips curling. Nice one, Trevor. You're good at dodging, but the public isn't stupid. They know you're not just joking for fun. Her eyes seem to tear through the air, each word like a knife slicing through. You pick your targets, President Trump, the MAGA movement, and fire sugar-coated bullets. I'm here to strip that coating off. Do you dare face the truth about yourself? She emphasizes truth, sparking crowd noise, some shouting, "Spill it, Karoline." Noah shakes his head, voice still sarcastic but tinged with tension. The truth, Karoline? You're performing a play scripted, directed, and starring Trump. He shrugs, but his tapping fingers speed up. If you've got some information, bring it. But I warn you, don't expect me to stand here clapping for your performance. Harper, sensing the studio's temperature spike, jumps in. Trevor, Miss Leavitt is clearly holding something. She's talking about a truth that'll shock the audience. Are you worried, or is this just another joke of hers? The question pours fuel on the fire. The crowd screaming, one person waving a Trump sign while another yells Trevor's untouchable. Noah responds, voice hardening, worried. Jack, I've faced everything on this stage from politicians to internet trolls. He crosses his arms, eyes defiant, but sweat glistens on his brow under the stage lights. If Karoline thinks she can silence me with Trump's playbook, she's dead wrong. Bring it, Karoline. I'm waiting. Leavitt smiles, not a friendly one, but the kind of smile from someone holding an ace. Oh, Trevor, you won't wait long, but I'd brace yourself. What I'm about to say isn't just a joke, it'll change how the audience sees you. She pauses, letting the words hang, stirring audience murmurs. Someone shouts, "What have you got, Karoline?" "Drop it." Harper with a sly grin pushes the drama to its peak. "Karoline, you've got the whole studio on edge. You talk about informations that'll expose Trevor. Is it about his past or something more recent?" The question silences the crowd, every eye on Leavitt. Leavitt tilts her head, voice low but cutting. "Jack, let's just call it a truth." Trevor can't laugh his way out of. He loves playing the justice hero on TV, but I've got something that'll make that role crumble. She stares straight at Noah, eyes like they could pierce him. Noah, no longer smiling, leans forward. "Karoline, you're playing a dangerous game. If you're throwing out rumors, make sure they're worth it, because when I hit back, you won't like it." His voice hardens, humor gone. Karoline Leavitt sits tall, eyes blazing like a fire torching all doubt. Trevor Noah, his smile now a thin mask, grips the table's edge, his gaze wavering between confidence and unease. The audience, like taut strings, whispers guesses about Leavitt's secret. Cameras zoom in, capturing every tense moment, from the sweat gleaming on Noah's forehead, to Leavitt's icy smile. Host Jack Harper, the seasoned MC with calm poise and TV savvy, leans slightly toward Leavitt. "Karoline, you've got the whole studio holding its breath with this secret about Trevor Noah. You called him a manipulator's hiding behind laughs. What do you have to prove this accusation?" The crowd falls silent, only the hum of live streaming phones remaining. Leavitt stands, holding a thin stack of documents, the stage lights casting her as a general before battle. She begins her monologue, voice calm but piercing like an arrow to the heart. "Ladies and gentlemen, Trevor Noah crowns himself the flag-bearer of truth, a comedian who just wants to entertain. But I have proof, not idle talk, but verified documents, that he's betrayed the audience's trust." She takes a deep breath, her next words like slashes at Trevor. Over 3 years hosting The Daily Show, Noah received $2.5 million from a San Francisco-based non-profit, funded by anti-Trump billionaires. The purpose? To produce comedy segments targeting President Trump and the MAGA movement, undermining public trust. He picks up a document from the table, holding it up for all to see, emphasizing each word. "I have emails from Noah's team discussing strategic goals to boost ratings by smearing the president. And here a contract worth $1.2 million for politically driven content." She turns to Trevor, eyes challenging him. "You call that humor? Or did you turn your stage into a propaganda tool for cash?" She raises the documents high, voice ringing like a verdict. "The audience deserves the truth. You chose money over honesty." The crowd explodes, applause mixed with shouts. One group chants Noah sold out, while another yells Leavitt's lying. Cameras zoom in on the documents in Leavitt's hand, then cut to Noah, his face frozen, eyes flashing with shock and fury. Harper jumps in, voice dripping with drama. "Trevor, this is a serious accusation with specific figures and documents. Do you have an answer for the audience?" Noah leaps to his feet, the mic trembling slightly as he responds, voice steely but with a hint of a quiver. "Karoline, you think waving some papers and making up numbers will make me fold?" Noah continues, his voice growing stronger but still laced with tension, as if proving his confidence to the room. "Those documents are a sham. The Daily Show is funded by Comedy Central, not some shadowy billionaires. I haven't taken a cent from any organization to smear Trump." Some audience members whisper, nodding, and Noah doesn't stop, pressing on. "What I say on stage is based on facts, like Trump's 3,200 tweets bashing the media in 2020, or the 12 times he called the pandemic a hoax. Look at Trump's team, scripting you every day." The crowd roars, some raising Trevor's untouchable signs, but boos from the MAGA side create a storm of sound. Leavitt cuts in, voice sharp as a honed blade. "Trevor, you're great at dodging, but you can't outrun the truth. This email from your own executive producer says clearly, we need to ramp up anti-Trump content to keep young viewers. And this contract, signed by you, details $1.2 million for a special media campaign. Want me to read it line by line? She flips a page, pretending to read. Focus on controversial topics to maximize engagement. That's you, Trevor. Or do you want to call it artistic creativity? The crowd buzzes. Someone shouting, read it all, Karoline. Noah leans forward, voice low but defiant. Karoline, you're performing a cheap drama. If you've got emails, read them. If you've got a contract, show the nation. But I'll warn you, forging documents on live TV is a one-way ticket to ruin. The audience falls silent, tension blanketing the air, every eye on Noah's words. I've done comedy for 15 years, and every joke I make is rooted in truth, like when Trump called climate change a Chinese hoax in a speech. Ask your Mar-a-Lago captain, who's paying you to spread rumors here. He looks to the crowd, raising a hand for support. Who's with me? Who sees this as a dirty trick? Leavitt, unfazed, smiles like a chess master cornering her opponent. Trevor, you're a great actor, but your play's about to end. Beyond documents, I have a video from behind the scenes of The Daily Show, where you say clearly, we need to target Trump to keep ratings. That's the strategy. What do you call that? Comedy or dirty business? She pauses, turning to Harper. Jack, want to play that video now? Harper, seizing the peak moment, responds instantly. Karoline, if you've got a video, millions of viewers are waiting. Trevor, are you ready to face it? Noah shakes his head, voice hardening. Jack, she's pulling a con. That video, if it exists, is fake. I'm not afraid of the truth, but I hate being slandered. The audience senses the stakes, some whispering, he's really stressed now. Leavitt sits back, voice triumphant yet calm. Trevor, you can call it slander, but the truth will speak. Audience, get ready. What I'm about to show you will shatter his funny hero's image. She stares into the camera, as if addressing the world. The studio is a crucible of clashing fire, the air erupting after Leavitt's blow. Trevor, Noah, eyes now blazing with resolve, stands tall, hands no longer gripping the table, but raised like a fighter ready to counter. Karoline, Leavitt, her smile still icy, sits opposite, eyes like a chess master waiting for her rival's mistake. Harper jumps in, voice like pouring oil. Trevor, you bring numbers, but Karoline has documents, emails, and a video. The audience is waiting to see if she's right. Karoline, he says the video's fake. Your response? Leavitt replies, voice calm but triumphant. Jack, Trevor can deny it, but the truth doesn't need his approval. The video is real, and I'll play it when the time's right. She stares at Noah, eyes a final challenge. But first, I want him to answer, if you're innocent, why refuse public political debates after leaving The Daily Show? Because you know you can't defend what you've said. Noah, eyes blazing with anger and disappointment, voice starting to shake. Karoline, you want a debate? I'm here right now. But you don't want truth, you want a stage to perform for Trump. If you have a video, play it. If not, stop this game, because the audience deserves better. He looks to the crowd, raising a hand. Who's with me? The studio audience is a tidal wave, some raising phones to record, others shouting for their side, the air thick like before a massive storm. Trevor Noah stands tall, eyes blazing like an unyielding torch, but his shoulders sag slightly, like a warrior feeling the battle's weight. Karoline Leavitt, her gaze cold as moonlight on a still lake, sits opposite, a subtle smile like a strategist who's cornered her rival. The audience, like churning waves, splits between cheers for Noah and roars from the MAGA side. Cameras zoom in, capturing every tense moment. From Noah's quick breaths to Leavitt's sharp calm, host Jack Harper, voice deep with authority yet nuanced. Trevor, the audience is waiting for you. The words fan the flames, silencing the crowd. A few cries of Trevor, stand strong, rising from the free speech corner. Leavitt, seizing the moment, leans into the mic, voice sharp as a honed blade. Jack, Trevor has no answer, because he knows I'm right. He built his reputation targeting President Trump, picking a side to pander to the crowd, but when exposed, he just dodges. Trevor, If you truly stand for truth, stay and face the video I'm about to reveal. Or are you afraid the audience will see you're no different from those you've mocked? She pauses, eyes a final challenge, stirring the crowd. Noah, eyes flashing with fury and frustration, stands abruptly, the mic trembling as he begins a monologue, voice raw but incisive. Karoline, you think you can destroy me with slander and a video no one's seen. I'm not here to play word games in your media circus. I do this because I believe in exposing truth, not the truth staged in White House strategy meetings, but the truth Americans feel every day. In 7 years hosting The Daily Show, I made 1,200 episodes, calling out every politician, from Trump's 1,900 false claims, verified by PolitiFact, to Biden's 450 dodges on economic questions. I don't work for parties or crowds. I work to make the audience think. Look at the $3.2 million in security costs for Trump's rallies since 2022, while you stand here defending him. I'm not afraid of you or your video, Karoline, but I refuse to play this dirty game. Audience, if you want truth, find it yourself. I'm done performing. He pauses, eyes sweeping the studio, voice low but heavy. I'm leaving not because I lost, but because I won't sell myself out. He tosses the mic on the table, strides off the set, his footsteps ringing like a defiant proclamation. The audience erupts, applause mixed with boos. One group chants Trevor, come back, while the MAGA corner yells, he gave up. Cameras track Noah's back, stage lights casting him as a tragic hero exiting the stage. Leavitt, not missing a beat, stands for a brief monologue, voice triumphant yet calm. Ladies and gentlemen, Trevor just showed you who he is. When faced with truth, he chose to run. I came here to defend President Trump and millions of Americans from those who use laughter to divide the country. He talks about truth. His truth vanished the moment I asked questions. Audience, remember, we fight for you, and I'll keep bringing the truth. She sits, eyes like a declaration of war to the world. Harper, sensing a historic moment, jumps in with dramatic flair. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just witnessed an unforgettable moment. Thank you for watching, see you next time. The studio audience is a raging sea. Backstage, producer Sarah clutches her head, whispering to an assistant, this is a disaster, or TV gold. Karoline, with a subtle smile like a general after victory, becomes the eye of the media storm. The studio audience, a turbulent sea, remains divided. Half raise Trump signs, shouting Leavitt's name, while the other half quietly live streams, eyes red from Noah's exit. Cameras, unblinking eyes, capture every moment from Noah's empty chair to Leavitt's piercing gaze, as if etching her triumph into TV history. But beyond the studio, the world explodes, and X becomes a battlefield where truth and drama collide like meteors. Social media, like an unstoppable wildfire, erupts at breakneck speed. Hashtags #Noah walks out, and #Leavitt triumph climb to global trending in 15 minutes, surpassing even major sports events. A viral TikTok video clips Noah's exit with the caption, when you choose dignity but drama still chases you. An X account with 2 million followers posts, Leavitt just turned Noah into a quitter, MAGA's dominating. Meanwhile, Noah's fans counter with #TrevorTruth. He walked out because he doesn't play dirty. Leavitt's just Trump's puppet. A new meme emerges, Leavitt standing before Noah's empty chair, captioned, when you win an argument but lose the world. Live streams from studio audiences hit millions of views, with comments split from Noah's a legend to Leavitt's the queen. X becomes a virtual arena, each post a swing of the sword. TV networks pounce like vultures sensing drama. Fox News, like a programmed machine, breaks an urgent report. Karoline Leavitt, MAGA star, takes down Trevor Noah in historic showdown. A conservative commentator calls her the voice of truth, labeling Noah a coward who couldn't face the challenge. CNN and MSNBC, conversely, turn Noah into a symbol of principle. A CNN journalist writes, Noah left the studio not because he lost, but because he refused to play Leavitt's slander game. MSNBC runs a headline, Leavitt wins the round, but at what cost? Late-night shows, like flames catching wind, jump in fast. Jimmy Kimmel Live preps a satirical monologue, picturing Leavitt wielding a mic like a gladiator. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert airs a sketch showing Noah leaving the studio at sunset, captioned, "A hero doesn't need a stage." These shows, though mocking, fuel the drama, making the event a nationwide talking point. International media doesn't sit on the sidelines. In South Africa, Noah's homeland, Cape Times runs the headline, "Trevor Noah exits U.S. studio, victim of toxic politics." A journalist writes, "Noah, our pride, got caught in America's political crossfire, where truth is twisted." British media, with signature sarcasm, call it a classic American TV melodrama, likening Leavitt to a House of Cards character. In Europe, papers like Le Monde dig deeper. Noah's exit reflects deep divisions in American culture, where humor becomes a political weapon. These global perspectives thicken the narrative, turning the drama into a worldwide phenomenon. Celebrities pile in, like stars sucked into a media black hole. A famous comedian posts on X, "Noah walked out because he knew the game was rigged. Respect, #stand with Trevor." Conversely, a conservative pundit tweets, "Leavitt proved MAGA fears no one, not even Noah. #Leavitt triumph." A pop singer with 10 million followers sparks debate by posting, "I stand for truth, but who's right here, Noah or Leavitt?" The post gets 50,000 retweets, heating up the online war. Activists join too, some calling Noah a guardian of free speech, others praising Leavitt for standing up to liberal media. This divide, like a widening crack, mirrors U.S. politics at the time. Meanwhile, platforms like TikTok and Instagram turn the drama into art. A viral TikTok uses slow motion, showing Noah's empty chair with tragic music, captioned, "When you lose but remain a legend." Another Instagram reels from a MAGA account clips Leavitt's smile with the text, "The drama queen just took the crown." Content creators, like wartime artists, churn out hundreds of analysis videos from 5 reasons Noah was right to why Leavitt is MAGA's future. These videos, with millions of views, make the event a cultural phenomenon, far beyond the studio. Social media remains an unrelenting battlefield. An X post from an independent journalist goes viral. Leavitt won the round, but at what cost? Noah left, but he left a question, does media still have room for truth? The post, with 100,000 likes, sparks fresh debate about TV's role in politics. Another meme spreads, Leavitt before the American Spotlight logo, captioned, "When you turn a talk show into a MAGA battlefield." The drama, like an unquenchable fire, keeps spreading, with X, TikTok and Instagram as fuel. Backstage at the American Spotlight, it's like a ship's deck in a storm, chaotic but charged. Cameras are off, stage lights dimmed, but the aftershocks of the Trevor Noah-Karoline Leavitt clash still ripple like an undercurrent. In a small room behind the studio, producer Sarah, like a weary general post-battle, sits amid papers and ringing phones. Her usually steely face now shows strain as she scrolls through hundreds of audience emails. A group of Noah fans threatens to sue the show for a media trap, calling the event a targeted attack. Conversely, conservative groups send congratulations, urging Leavitt's return to keep winning. Sarah, proud of the record-breaking 12 million live viewers, feels pressure like a blade at her throat. An assistant, eyes red from sleeplessness, whispers, "We made history, but is it worth this nightmare?" Sarah doesn't answer, her gaze fixed on a screen showing X metrics, where posts about the show spread like an unrelenting fever. Miles away, Trevor Noah sits alone in his dark New York apartment, phone light illuminating his tired but defiant face. He's muted X notifications but can't dodge texts from friends and former Daily Show colleagues. A friend, once a writer, messages, "You did the right thing, Trevor. Don't let them drag you down." But Noah, though resilient, feels a rare loneliness. He skims a South African article calling him a victim of U.S. politics, and memories of his journey from Johannesburg to global stages flood back. He recalls early days in America, when comedy was his bridge to audiences, not a weapon in a culture war. Now, his exit splits into 2 narratives, a symbol of principle to some, a quitter to others. Noah, unregretful, wonders if he should step back from the spotlight to rediscover himself. A notebook on the table, open with notes for a new project, is his only spark of hope in the dark. In Washington, Karoline Leavitt returns home after a long day, but this time her steps are light, like she's just left a victorious stage. In her cozy Capitol apartment, Nicholas Riccio, her husband, embraces her with pride, whispering, "You made the whole country listen." In his hand, his phone still shows a trending X headline, "Leavitt lands devastating blow on live TV, Noah silenced." She knows she didn't just speak for Trump, but for millions of Americans. The public, though absent from backstage, fuels the drama. A group of New York students holds an online discussion, calling Noah a symbol of resistance. Conversely, a conservative gathering in Texas hails Leavitt as a flame of truth, launching fundraisers for MAGA campaigns inspired by her. This divide, like a geological fault, keeps widening, making the American spotlight a symbol of an era where truth is warped by political lenses. The media storm slowly calms, but its ripples persist, like rings on a lake after a heavy stone. Trevor Noah's empty chair, though gone from the spotlight, remains a haunting symbol, a reminder of the clash between comedy and politics. Karoline Leavitt, with her victory, becomes a new flag-bearer for the MAGA movement. After the showdown with Noah, Karoline Leavitt appears at a brief press conference, flashbulbs popping, highlighting her confidence. She speaks, voice calm but powerful. "The battle on the American spotlight wasn't about me or any individual. It was about defending millions of Americans from distorted narratives. I'm proud to stand up for President Trump and the MAGA movement, but I know the road ahead isn't easy. Truth sometimes hurts, but it also liberates. I'll continue my role, not to win arguments, but to build a fairer future. Thank you for your trust." Her words, like a manifesto, solidify her stature, shaping her as a young, sharp woman who doesn't back down from any titan. After the press conference, she returns to her office, sips hot tea, and gazes out the window as the Capitol sinks into night. In her heart there's no unease, only resolve for the political undercurrents she knows are coming. And this time, she's ready not just to confront, but to lead. The story of the Trevor Noah-Karoline Leavitt showdown on the American spotlight deeply reflects the political and media divides in today's United States, where truth is often distorted by competing narratives and emotions override reason. In the story, Leavitt, as White House press secretary, uses allegations of funding and a backstage video to attack Noah, while Noah, a comedian, counters with data and principles but ultimately leaves the studio, refusing a dirty game. The event, with its explosive reaction on X and media like Fox News praising Leavitt and CNN defending Noah, reveals a society where platforms like X amplify drama, turning debates into culture wars. The personal toll: Noah alone in his apartment, Leavitt facing doubts about her claims, and the audience's split, with MAGA signs versus free speech support, mirror today's America, where political debates rarely find common ground. The story teaches us that in a polarized society like today's United States, defending truth demands patience and commitment beyond fleeting emotions. Noah's act of leaving the studio to preserve principles rather than prolonging the fight reminds us that sometimes stepping back isn't defeat, but a way to hold fast to personal values amid media pressure. Yet Leavitt's resolve, though controversial, shows the power of standing up for beliefs, even under scrutiny. The lesson here is, instead of letting social media, like X in the story, dictate emotions, we should seek truth through direct dialogue and reliable sources. For example, when facing a political controversy, do as Noah did: use data like his mention of Trump's 1,900 false claims to bolster arguments, but also learn from Leavitt. Stay steadfast but cautious with unverified accusations. In real life, Americans can apply this by listening to both sides, like the divided studio audience, and asking questions rather than rushing to trust hashtags or memes. Ultimately, as the story's haunting question asks, who really wins when truth is left behind? We must prioritize building bridges over deepening divides. Join community discussions, verify information before sharing, and stay honest, to avoid becoming victims of the distorted mirror of today's media. Subscribe to the channel to not miss the next drama, and join the search for truth amid the American spotlight's battle lines. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.